Welcome to the Blow Your Mind podcast. If you're trying to figure out who you are, where you're headed, or how to trust yourself in the middle of it all, this show is for you. I'm Erica Sinner. I grew up in a trailer park on food stamps, and I went on to build a multi-8-figure award-winning company without a safety net and without pretending it was easy. I'm now a CEO, a best-selling author, and a philanthropist. And what I've learned is this: real confidence isn't a feeling. It's self-trust built through evidence. This is a place for real conversations. You'll hear from me and occasionally my husband, Chris, as we talk honestly about real life and the standards and decisions that separate talk from results. Let's blow your mind. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Katie Love, founder and CEO of Love Social Media, a multi-7-figure women-led agency helping founders turn content into credibility and credibility into real revenue. Katie started her career as an NBC News reporter covering presidential elections, national stories, before pivoting into entrepreneurship and building one of the most respected social agencies in the industry. She's worked with names like Naomi Watts, leads a team of more than 20 women, and is on a mission to help founders grow with clarity and consistency instead of chaos. Katie, welcome to the Blow Your Mind podcast.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. Oh my gosh, and if you guys are watching on YouTube, you will see just how bright and pink and beautiful Katie is, which I think you have to with the last name like Love.
I mean, it's ingrained in me when I came out, you know.
Yes, I love this. I'm so happy you're here. So our listenership is anyone from, I speak a lot on university campuses. So we have college students who are figuring out what it is that they're going to do with their life. But we also have corporate executives, employees at big companies, small companies. And then of course we have female founders like you and me. And you've worked with hundreds of founders at this point. What's the story that you see most of them telling themselves about being seen online? Because I think that could only not just apply to founders, but to anyone who says, like, should I be online? How do I show up in the world? Like, what do you see?
I see that there is a mindset shift that has to happen for you to show up online. And so many women say, my hair doesn't look good, my makeup doesn't look good, I'm not going to hit post. And they have the most amazing things to say. Everyone has a story to tell. So how do we shift our mindset to, I get to tell this story. I'm going to impact another woman today. And that's what we need more women to be doing so we can hear from them and learn.
Yes. Oh my God. So I subscribe to the thinking of like when I don't want to do my work and I'll be like, but I get to do this. I get to live this life. I never thought about that in terms of like, I get to tell this story. Wow.
How lucky are we that we can hit a button and possibly reach hundreds of thousands of people just by talking into a camera? But so many of us get so anxious leading up to just hitting record.
Yeah.
And my goal in life is to have women show up as themselves and feel so confident because we have that story. You have that incredible story.
Yeah.
And so how do we get over that hump to hit post and then see the impact on the other side?
Yes. Oh, I love this. And I just love the idea of also, like you said, you know, my hair doesn't look right or my makeup doesn't look right. I'm guilty of this. There are times where I have my perimenopause acne and I'm like, I can't go online. But there's something really cool that I don't do it for myself. But when I see other people in the messy and they post it, I'm like, yeah, girl, okay, I see myself in you. Like, it's actually really great.
That's been the number one piece of feedback I get from people when they see that I haven't cleaned up the toys in my house, that maybe I have spit up on my shirt. And they're like, thank you for showing up as you and not cleaning everything up, looking perfect, and then getting online, because that's not real. And then I'm doing a disservice to another working mom who's trying to do all the things, and then they think I have this perfect house, perfect wardrobe, and that's just not the case. Like, I'm doing the best I can, and so are so many other women.
Yes. Okay, so I should have started with that. If you are listening today, I mean, this is truly a conversation about also like this Instagram versus reality, this like, how can we be more real? And when you share these types of stories, we're also focused on these highlight reels and we think everyone's got it all figured out. But most of us, all of us, I actually think is the truth, don't. Like they don't. And I love that you just said like the spit up or something, like when people come to my home. So I need to figure out how to do this online, because when people come to my home, I call it Shar-Pei glitter. Like there is like, and it's literally like they shake their heads and like there's spit on the walls. But I'm like, well, it's my, we live in a doghouse. I have 5 dogs. Like, but to be able to be that vulnerable and honest also online, and what that can do for who follows you and who sees you and who you've inspired.
And it's going to make your content connect to more people and the people that you actually want to reach. Yeah. And so if we can kind of pull back the curtain in a way that we feel comfortable doing, you're going to see a larger audience start to follow you and follow you for the right reasons, because you're just showing up as your full, all pink self.
Yes. Yes. And then when they meet you IRL, you're exactly who they thought you were or who you are, right?
That's one of the best compliments I've ever received. And I got it recently where she said, I just want you to know you're the person I see telling stories on Instagram and in person. And it meant so much to me because I used to be a TV news reporter, and there was always this persona and this armor and even the wardrobe that I put on every day. And I felt like I was stepping into someone's life and I was putting on a show. And so part of building my company, building Katie Love Social, was just stripping that back, being my 100% girly, all pink self, which in my first career and world was not recommended. I mean, I needed to wear beige and neutrals, and my hair needed to be, shoulder length and keep the makeup simple. And when I stepped into who I wanted to be as a founder, pink really became such a huge part of my story because it felt like true Katie, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. As I think about you as a TV news reporter, and like, what was it like to be in the public eye? I mean, I'm sure now you are opening yourself to just the opinions of everyone.
Mm-hmm. It's a different level of scrutiny. I actually find that having been on TV news was harder. And I'll tell you why. There's something about seeing someone on your TV where you feel removed. Like, you can say something. I had women writing in, I hate that outfit today. Did you see your makeup? And I was like, hello, there's a real person on the end of the screen.
Yeah.
And there was no filter. And one time someone thought I was pregnant. And they wrote it in, like, congratulations. I was 24 years old. I was definitely not pregnant.
Yeah.
And they don't care because they'll just say it. And so I will say it prepared me because when I built my social following and had viral videos, people come out, and that's one of the biggest reasons people, like, they come to me and they say, I have anxiety about what if this does work? And what if I hit 1 million views and I start to get negativity? I start to get the hate comments.
Yeah.
And for me, I say, just think about it as every comment is feeding the algorithm and showing it to a person who's actually going to appreciate you. But you do have to build a little bit of a thick skin when it comes to social media. But just remember that 90% of the people there are cheering you on, love your content. And those are the people we want to talk to, and just forget about the 10% creepy men.
Yes. That's such good advice. And I think if you're listening and you're like, I'm not a female founder. I'm not a founder. I don't know if I want to do online. I think that's applicable, though, advice for life. I think if you're in college right now, or if you're in a big corporation, and like, you don't actually need everyone to like you. I always go back to, like, cilantro, because I'm Mexican and I love cilantro, but I didn't know, and I couldn't understand anyone who didn't. Like, I was like, what? But then I found out there's actually, like, some people, it tastes like soap when they eat it. So they can't like it. Like, it's just not for them. And, like, we just cannot be for everyone. And so the thicker skin and to be okay with not everybody likes you is just such good advice just in life.
And it's such a good point, because when I've had women who've really had a turning point in their social followings, it's because they have started to give 0 Fs. Okay.
Oh, you can cuss on this podcast.
I can say 0 fucks. Okay, great. Yes. I will say it. And they step into their power. They're like, I'm not for everyone. My content's not going to be for everyone. And now I have something to say. And when you have something to say, that's when your content really starts to get legs. But even for me, for so long, I felt like I needed to have a certain persona, act a certain way, and because I wanted to be liked by everyone. But then I was loved by no one, right? I needed people to truly see me and just be myself so I could be loved.
Sorry. I like how that there was, if you're watching on YouTube, you just saw me, like, my face, like, jaw. I was like, what a thing. Like, if you are trying to be liked by everyone, you're loved by no one. But if you really put your like stake in the ground of like, this is who I am unapologetically, this is what I'm doing, then the people who are your people are your people.
They show up. I posted something about me, my daughter and I, it went viral. I got like hate coming from everywhere, but my people, they were in the comments. They're like, don't talk about Katie like that. I was like, yes, this is who's showing up for me.
Yes.
And I've built such incredible connections, business partners. I mean, even I know you're talking about people who aren't building a business, but having a social footprint, no matter where you want to go in life, I think is so meaningful because you can build true connections personally, professionally.
Yes. And I also think, when we have employees come to interview at our company, like I'm always going online. I'm like, I want to see who you are. I want to see what you're about. Like you can't get everything in an interview. And like, I want people with integrity and that they also know how to have fun and that they know, who they want to be out in the world and they're confident in themselves. And that brings me to this idea of confidence. So in my Blow Your Mind framework, for myself, I say confidence isn't something that like, you're not going to get to a point where it's like, all of a sudden I'm confident, I'm going to do all of the things. Like you do just have to do things scared and to prove to yourself that you can do it. And now you can trust yourself. What's your take on confidence, or how do you help those have confidence to go online, to hit post?
I make it as simple as possible because repetition is what works, right?
Yeah.
And so one piece of content that has gone viral time and time again for so many of our clients is simple B-roll. Okay, you could be walking, you could be putting on lipstick, you could be typing. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I have someone who is a little apprehensive about talk to camera, I start them with the B-roll reel. Okay. And that is the entrance.
Yeah.
Because then they say, okay, so I'm not talking to camera, but I can put text that I feel and I can test what piece of text worked. And then I can use it as a hook the next time I do video because I will start it on camera.
Yes.
So the more we do it, the more do it scared. And then after that, you become more and more confident. And I think just by repeating it, that works so well.
I love that. Like that is such a practical tool to like just get started, and that you don't have to be like the talking head towards the video or like have a message or like, can I remember what I want to say? Like just B-roll. Like think about what you like to see in other people. I love to get a glimpse into other people's lives. Like I love watching them walk through the airport. I love watching them get ready in the morning and like what makeup are they using, and they're talking to me. Then when Brielle was like, you have to do that now. And I was like, what? What do you like? This feels so weird. Like it just feels, and now I just do it. But I also love to see it for others. Yes. So there's something really cool in that.
So I had a client who had the greatest message. She was so succinct and she could not get views, likes, follows. And then I said, Michelle, I want you to say this exact same thing, but I want you to go sit in your car. She's like, why would I sit in my car? I was like, you're going to stay in your car and you're going to act like you just came back from soccer practice and then you're going to spit some gems. She went viral. She literally said the same thing, but she was talking straight to camera. She was sitting up straight, and it just wasn't as relatable as her sitting in the car, messy, like chips, kid stuff. And people were like, oh, I'm going to stop my scroll because I see you. This looks like me.
Yeah.
I immediately relate, and then I tune into what you're saying.
Wow. I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're right. Like,
go sit in your car.
I stop on like when people are sitting in their cars, like, oh, they're about to drop some knowledge. Like I'm about to learn something, or it's going to be a hot take where I'm going to be like, yes, you said that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people feel like they're being invited into your space. I mean, also filming in your closet. And we also have a very well-known podcast host as a client, and she sits Indian style in her closet. And she's a beautiful, gorgeous woman, but something about sitting Indian style in her closet, like, hey, bestie, like, here's what's up. That has her videos really taking off just because of the setting of feeling like I'm in someone's environment.
Yes, because it goes back to this, like, I don't know, like I want to see inside people's lives, but I also want to feel like I'm your friend and like I'm just hanging out with you somewhere and you're telling me these things.
Exactly.
Yeah. It leads back to connection and how we all want and need connection. Mm-hmm. And I think social media starting, like it gets a bad rap where it's like, it's just not about that anymore. There's so many trolls, but I actually don't believe that that's true. I think every industry, every tool is what you make it, what you do in it, and what your own part of it is. And I think there's just really beautiful moments on social media.
They do. And we're connecting, we're laughing, we're learning. Look what it did for people during the pandemic. It made people feel less alone and less isolated.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes I feel bad saying this, but my business actually took off during the pandemic because people realized the power social media had when they couldn't talk to their customers or their clients.
That's right.
And so I also know people say to me, hey, I went on a social media break. It was bad for me. I was anxious. And then I say to them, you're following the wrong people. Because if you're following people who make you feel bad inside, they need to be deleted. You don't need to delete the app, delete those people.
Yes. Cleanse the information that you were taking in. And then it's like that For You page. Instagram somehow does read my mind because I do find it's all like Taylor Swift and diamonds and dogs. Lots of dogs. But it is about you deciding what you're going to take in, what you're going to listen to, and who is it that you're keeping up with. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. And now I am going to have Taylor Swift and diamonds and dogs on my For You page because you said it near my phone.
That's right. Yes. Which I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing. I love that.
So we've talked a lot about social media, your types of clients and how you help them get over things. But I want to talk about you. You went from an NBC News reporter, you were covering presidential elections, national stories, to now founding this multi-7-figure agency. That is two completely different worlds. What is the through line? Take me to the moment where you were I'm going to do this.
I was unhappy and I changed my life. And and here's the thing. It happened after Christmas morning. I had just covered a devastating house fire from a Christmas tree falling over. It killed everyone inside.
Wow.
And I went back and my director said, where was your Katie Love smile today? And I said, what do you mean? He's like, I need a tighter dress. I need a bigger smile. And then I can send you back out. And I realized he hadn't even watched me with the volume on.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there and I never looked back.
That day,
I didn't know what I was going to do. I quit my job. I called my boyfriend, now my husband at the time. I was like, I cannot deal with this. I can't deal with the sexism. He's also in the same industry. No one's ever asked him to wear a tighter shirt or more makeup or smile more. And he was making $20,000 more than me. We had the same job and the same level of credentials. And what I realized that day is that I wanted to build a community of women who felt supported as their whole self. Every part of who you are that you come into this job, there's so much. You take all of it with you. And sometimes as bosses, people don't see that. They just try to treat you like the same person. Yeah. And in that moment, I felt like he didn't see me, that he didn't care about me. He cared about the product that was on TV.
You were a product.
I was a product. And I wasn't sleeping and I was covering topics that devastated me and I was anxious. And I didn't want that for myself anymore. I thought, well, how am I going to do this? I dedicated, half my life to this one career. I moved all around the country. I was in Missouri. I was in Virginia. I was in Ohio. I mean, to do that job, you've got to move and you've got to grind and you got to not care about who's next to you so you can step on them to get the next promotion. Wow. And I was just in this life that I hated. And I woke up one morning and I was like, I've got to do something.
Yeah.
And what I realized in some of the darkest moments when I was covering children who had gone missing was the power of their face on social media in those critical 48 hours. And I thought, how do I make a change? This source of getting information out so quickly is so incredible. This topic is killing me.
Yeah.
And how do I do it in a female-focused way where I would never tell someone they're not wearing enough makeup? And so I started Love Social Media as a team of one and my dog.
Chief Paw Officer.
Officer. And, to know that I have 20 women now and we've worked with all these real housewives randomly, but they all need good social media and celebrities and people who have said, Katie, I trust you. I want you to build this brand with me. Sometimes it's hard to take a step back and remember what you've built and where you've done and where you came from, where you're crying and now you're here and it feels good. And, just for anyone who's sitting there and thinking, I really don't like the life that I have, it's never too late to change it. It's never too late to tell your boss to fuck off.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
This is wow. Like I truly just want to sit in this for a moment. If you're sitting here listening to this powerful story, like take a moment and think about your own life and think about inventory it. And it doesn't mean you have to go in and quit your job today, but are there things that you could stand up for yourself or stick up for yourself or change for yourself that will make a meaningful difference? You know, as I thought about the comments that you were getting about your outfit or all of the things, you don't think about what you were having to do in your role. Mm-hmm. As you told the story of the Christmas tree, like a whole family is gone. Kids are missing. These are heavy things that you are reporting on, and you're having to stay calm and to have empathy for those types of positions, and also to think about anyone who's listening, right? Like you really don't know what people are carrying and how hard things are for others.
I think about that as a boss a lot. When someone's having a bad day, and I say, this is probably not related to work. It's probably something in your personal life, and just to not take it so personally, because we really don't know what everyone's carrying and walking around in.
Yes. So as you think about, you were talking about the grind and all of the, everything you had to do in the moving for when you were a reporter. Being an entrepreneur is also a grind, and there's a lot going on. It's two different worlds, but, what have you learned in this experience and now that maybe people wouldn't expect?
It doesn't stop for the founder. So you leave work at 5 and people keep calling and you're responsible for someone's salary and livelihood. And I don't think I expected the weight of having employees who rely on me. I have one woman who's also, her husband's a stay-at-home dad, so her entire livelihood depends on how well our business does. And it's a huge responsibility, and I take it very seriously to know that I take care of a family and I take care of her. And so it's not something that I expected. I never expected to be more than a team of one. And I really had to learn, as I'm sure you did, to replicate what I had done to make it a repeatable process for other women in particular. And it's helped me be a better boss and a better mom and a better wife. And so, it's a heavier weight that you're carrying that was definitely not expected for me either. But it's also such a rewarding one. I'm so proud. You have to be so proud. One of my team members, I try not to say employees because I want it to feel like a community. She said, I want you to know this is the house that Love Social Media built. Because I couldn't afford to buy a house before I worked for you. And I'll never forget it. It's like, I know that you talk about keeping the receipts.
Yes.
And that was one of the things I was like, that's a receipt. That's a receipt.
You can point to. Oh my gosh. Okay. So every episode we do a mind blown moment. Mm-hmm. That's mind blowing in itself to that's a big receipt. That's an impact to somebody's whole life. But as you think about your career and your life, and what is a moment that you really were like, man, I think I just blew my own mind?
It's a great question. And really, anytime someone comes up to me when I'm at a speaking event or I'm doing something like this and says, I've been watching you for years and I took action on something in my life based on what you said. Because sometimes you're posting content and you're like, is anyone listening? This is going anywhere? Yeah. And then for someone to say to me, no, not only did I listen, but I left the job I hated. I talked to my husband who's always wanted to be a stay-at-home dad, and he did it. And I'm building a business that I love, and I watched you do it, and I felt empowered to do it too. And for me, that's like mind-blowing.
Yes, that's beautiful. Like that is, they always say like you put out into the world and then you receive it back tenfold, and like you are feeling that. That's amazing. Okay, I love this. So now I'm excited for we do a challenge question or like something for our audience to consider at the end. We drop these episodes every week. So for the next 7 days, what is something you would say, whether it's, I don't even know if it's like having to post online or starting your social media brand, but what is something that you would say to anyone listening about advice, confidence, themselves, being online, like connection? What's one thing that you would want them to be thinking about?
So even if your day feels boring, I want you to record it. And some people say, well, nothing's happening today. And I said, you making your yogurt parfait is going to be interesting. You don't know. So I want you to hit record. I want you to hit record if you're doing yoga, if you're stretching, if you're going on a walk, if you're taking a business meeting, because all of that becomes your bank of content that you can write text over. You can do a day in your life. Just get used to it. Get the reps in of hitting record. Okay, maybe this is not the biggest day of my life, but people love to see you in your car, in your closet.
Yes.
And that's something that's very actionable. So then when you go to have a strategy and build your brand presence, you've got the content.
Oh my God. I love this because this is actionable, you guys. Like all of you listening can do this because it doesn't matter how interesting your day or life is. Like, I want to see you make your breakfast in the morning.
Exactly.
And so do it. Like, and tag us. I would love to see you all blow your own mind when you post something online and what your family, your friends, like I actually think that they're going to find that they're going to get comments and people are going to be like, oh my God, this was so cool. Share more. And so please, like next 7 days, anything, going for a walk, not driving. That's probably not safe. I mean, in the car, parked in the parking lot.
Preferably.
Yes. Walking at a coffee shop, post it online. Tag both of us. I think we'd both love to cheer you on, but also to see you blow your own mind and then to start capturing your receipts of maybe this is going to go viral for you.
Yes.
Katie, this was such a fun conversation, but also a very real one and one that just helps us all understand just the differences in people's roles, things you might not expect, but also like you can just do it. Like you can just show up online. You can get out there and somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody needs to see what you're doing. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was so lovely just to talk to you.
Yes. Like it's just like seriously, guys, like such a delight, like truly. So make sure you are following Katie on Instagram. Katie Loves Social. I love the play on words. Oh my God. Okay. At Katie Loves Social to keep up with her and the incredible work that she is doing. You're going to find inspiration and ideas for how to continue to build your own online presence, your own online content for whatever phase of life that you are in, whatever role that you are in. And I can't wait to see you all blow your own mind. Until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks for listening to the Blow Your Mind podcast. If something you heard today stayed with you, that's your cue. Apply one idea. Keep one promise to yourself this week because that's how you blow your mind. If this helped you build proof, shift your identity, or have an aha moment, share your receipts on Instagram and tag me at Erica_Sinner. Leave a review wherever you're listening so more people can find this work and blow their minds too. I'll see you next time.